Hello, my name is Stéphanie Daniel and I'm a lighting designer from Paris. Thank you to Forma Lighting and Light Collective for choosing me in order to represent France. I'm very honored and quite intimidated at the same time. When Pascal contacted me to participate to this event, he said that he really appreciates my work on the Rodin Museum a few years ago. So it came natural that this project would be my topic. I have to confess that I am very proud of this work because it makes the connection between high technology, sensitivity, and intuition. The result on the visitor experience is they don't notice artificial light. It is why I called this presentation the individual artificial light. Let me briefly introduce myself. I studied au Théâtre National de Strasbourg, National Theatre of Strasbourg. And at this time, it was the only drama school which trained comedians, set designer, as well sound, stage and light designer, technician, sorry. So I do have a theater orientation. When I finished school, I had the opportunity to meet talented young directors, and from now on, I worked with more than 20 of them in more than 180 plays. Since 2000, I have been contacted by museum scene designer because of my theatrical background. And I think that they were interested to find someone who works with light in a dramaturgical way and not only in order to light things. I believe that this theater background helped me for the light reflection and choices of the Rodin Museum. The Rodin Museum, or Hôtel Biron, is an emblematic French building. The magic of the museum is due to the abundant light penetrating by its large bay windows and is accentuated by the reflection on the mirrors. Therefore, the works of Rodin are permanently revealed by changing daylight. This project was a public tender. The architect, Dominique Brard, from the agency de Atelier de Lille, was convinced that light was an important lead to work. The first time I met Catherine Chevillot, the director of the museum, even before saying hello, she told me that she didn't want yellow light on marble or plaster. She was very concerned by the lighting problematics and she was enthusiastic by the idea of a dynamic light system. During pre-competition visits, I was able to list several problems with which we will be confronted. The 18th century architecture that we had to preserve, the abundant natural light with its variation depending on the time and season. And from the beginning, I was convinced that we had to preserve the abundant light of the windows, but we had to propose a system which would adapt the artificial light to the variation of the natural light, and this for several reasons. The first one, we see that natural light is not enough. And we have a lot of different work of art, and there are different materials by a high challenge to light, because the bronze and marble sculpture can be magnified by the natural light without conservation problems. But the plaster and wax sculpture, as well as the painting and drawing, can't handle that light for preventive conservation reasons. Here are the plans of the ground and the first floor with the different heights and differences of the light entrance. And we see that we have many different volumes, spaces, and light exposure. Summary of the different problems. Respecting the 18th century architecture. Manage the different volumes. Manage the variation of abundant natural lights, color, temperature, orientation, time, and season. Manage the different material and location of works of art, and provide relative lighting flexibility. Why? Because the director told me that even if the architect will place the works of art on the layout, she would put them where she wants their other work. So I had to think flexibility. So as you can see, the challenge was to find a good technology and good projectors that were able to control the quality of the artificial light in order to preserve a satisfying lighting of the works depending on the variations of the time and season. We had two criteria that the technology had to fulfill. They had to vary in intensity and color temperature. So it was obvious that we needed dynamic light. I demonstrated that my objective was to give the impression that to the visitor that the works of art were only lighting by daylight, invisible artificial light. So the director of the museum has been an important partner and helped a lot in finding a new sponsor to invest in the light technology and the equipment. It was quite difficult to find the equipment which could answer all the constraints. And at the end, we only have 3 types of very different projectors, which were able to create infinite lighting effects. All the sources are LED, and we have 2 types of projector. Those equipped with lamps with a color temperature of 4000, known as neutral color, for the lighting of bronzes and the painting. And we have those equipped with the lamps with a color which can vary between 2700 Kelvin and 6500 Kelvin, especially for the lighting of the marbles and the plaster. All projectors are with a narrow beam equipped with accessories made specially for the project, like a frost lens and a honeycomb to avoid glare. And we have the second sort of spots of projector, and the first spots are for lower high, and the second one are for sharp accentuation to focus when the spot is away from the work of art. They are both in 4000 Kelvin. Here is an example of studies to try to find the best infrastructure. And we choose a systematization of parallel electric tracks to lay out on the 4 walls. They are slightly suspending, and sometimes we added a line in a few rooms when the room was big. Here, it is a zoom of a room with various spots. So this new innovative and high performance lighting system is based on 2 technologies. We have the projector equipped with a LED dynamic color, the color change temperature or tunable white, and control with the daily protocol with a light sensor in each room. This makes possible to vary the intensity and the color temperature according to the natural light. And so we can variate it room by room, work of art by work of art, projector by projector. And this way, it's possible to preserve the subtle harmony between natural and artificial light. And it is also possible to control the contrast of the light, whatever the material of the work of art is, and whatever the position of the work in the room is. So for that, we program two light level, one for the daylight and one for the light in the night. We also made the programmation for the winter and for the summer time because the color temperature are very different depending on the season. Here, for example, we see here that the difference of the intensity and the color temperature between the day and the night. We see that there is not a big difference in intensity when it is bronze, but a huge difference when it's marble because of the material reflection and because of position in the work in the room. Here, we see that the perception of the work of art changes radically depending on the color temperature that is being used. Some data, and 600 works of art, 20 rooms, 3,040 linear meters of electric track, 349 spots, 180 spots tunable white, 60. Well, yeah, see, it's a lot, a lot of spots and a lot of focusing. Here are some pictures before the work and now after the work. So this one is one room with several materials. We have plaster, bronzes, painting. Here we can see different states of natural light with the balance of artificial light in the same room. Soft light without any accentuation or different color temperature between natural and artificial light. Here, picture from by night. And here it's bronzes and lights. And we see that the backlight is very important with the bay window. And in order to preserve the contrast created by natural light, the intensity of artificial lighting increases when daylight floods the room. Yes, you see that's between and the last one. So thank you for your attention, and thank you to Formal Lighting and Sharon Stemmer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.